In my previous video, I picked out 7 phones that I thought were the best premium Android flagships in India currently. But then, in that video, if you haven't watched it yet, a link should pop up right now. In that specific video, I had also specifically mentioned that the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 was a mess, primarily because of the fact that, the Samsung 4nm fabrication process caused it to heat too much, and there were thermal throttling issues too on most phones. But the second half of 2022 is looking very interesting. And that is primarily because we already have confirmation that there will be a lot of phones with the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 chip, which is based on the far better TSMC 4nm fabrication process, which is definitely going to give you better performance and better power efficiency. So for this upcoming list, we collated all the leaks, rumors and speculations and made a list of all the best Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 phones that we expect to see soon. Now, if you're here for the very first time, don't forget to hit that red subscribe button and the bell icon right next to it to get notified whenever we put out an awesome new tech video. And of course, don't forget to hit that like button and maybe even comment below so that more people can watch this video, because YouTube algorithm values engagement. So welcome to Trakin Tech English, and if you don't know me yet, I'm Ershad. Let's get this video started. Now, the first phone in this list has been leaked a lot, and yes, I'm talking about the Moto Frontier, or the H30 Ultra is what it's going to be called presumably. Now, this phone is definitely expected to come with the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 processor, but the rest of the specs that have leaked looks absolutely fantastic as well. Most importantly, the fact that this phone is going to come with a 200 megapixel sensor. I mean, I don't know if you'd need that many megapixels, but it'll be great to see if we can get good photos out of it. And just like the H30, you can also expect a 60 megapixel camera on the front as well. And another feature that has been leaked a lot is that the Moto H30 Ultra is expected to come with 125 watt super fast charging speeds and 30 or 50 watt fast wireless charging speeds as well. This is actually a first for Motorola. In fact, a lot of things are going to be a first for Motorola on this phone, and it looks like this is going to be the most premium Motorola phone that we've seen in a long while. Maybe Motorola is trying to take on Xiaomi, which brings me to the Xiaomi 12 Ultra, which is the second phone in this list. Not just a 12 Ultra, but there's also a 12S that has leaked alongside it. And both these phones are expected to come with the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. And more importantly, for the very first time, Leica branding. Yes, Leica's branding has moved on from Huawei to now Xiaomi. Now, coming back to the 12 Ultra, we don't know much about the other specs apart from the fact that there could be a 4900 mAh battery and 120 watt fast charging speeds, which seems to be common on many Xiaomi 12 series phones, and of course 67 watt fast charging as well, fast wireless charging as well. And one thing's for certain, there will be IP68 rating and the latest version of Android, which is possibly Android 12 with MIUI 13. So are you guys excited for the Xiaomi 12 Ultra and the 12S? Do let me know in the comment section below. In fact, stay tuned till the end of the video. I'll pick out the ones that are my favorite, most exciting ones. In fact, I'll pick out 3 phones that are the most exciting for me in this list. Now, as soon as Qualcomm announced the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, OnePlus was quick to jump to that opportunity and state that the OnePlus 10 Ultra will include this chip. Now, considering the OnePlus 10 Pro was a good back to form phone for OnePlus itself, the camera performance has been a letdown. We've said that multiple times, but the 10 Ultra could change that. And that's because the OnePlus 10 Ultra could, for the very first time, come with a periscope zoom camera, and that's something that I'm really excited about, primarily because OnePlus's optical zoom performance hasn't been great, and this could change that. And the other reason to be excited about the 10 Ultra is that it is expected to use Oppo's Mari Silicon chip for actually processing the images. We've seen how using a dedicated imaging chip like the Vivo X80 Pro does with the V1 Plus actually helps in ensuring that you get better performance and of course better thermal efficiencies as well, primarily because a lot of the power required to process the images is transferred to that specific chip and not the processor processor itself. And we don't know much about the rest of the specs, but you can expect the regulars like a QHD Plus display, 120Hz refresh rate, the latest version of Android 12, and maybe even Oxygen OS 13 based on Android 13, depending on whether it's available by the time it launches. So yeah, that's something that we can expect. And hopefully OnePlus doesn't skimp out on the IP rating and gives IP68 rating on the OnePlus 10 Ultra. So yes, the OnePlus 10 Ultra is looking very interesting, but I'm going to be cautiously optimistic about the phone. Let's wait and watch. Forget about all the other phones in this list. This fourth phone in the list, the ASUS ROG Phone 6, has already been showcased. It's, Dave2D and Android Central have already done their pieces on the phone itself, and we've seen a bit of that design too. So yes, the ROG Phone 6 will come with the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 and could actually have a semi-transparent shell on the rear to see the innards of the phone. Nothing. You seem to have a competitor. A couple of other things that I noticed from the Android Central article is that you get dual Type-C ports, and there is a gasket around the SIM card tray which could indicate that there is IP rating on this phone. Now moving on to Samsung, I was wondering whether Samsung will actually launch any phone with the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, and then I realized there are the foldables still pending to be launched. So at the Unpacked this year, we're expecting the Z Flip 4 and the Z Fold 4. To start off, let's talk about the Z Flip 4. Now the Z Flip 4 will largely have a similar design as the Z Flip 3, but will probably have a slightly larger external display on the front. So the most interesting leak about the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4, apart from the fact that it has a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 processor, is that it could come with a slightly larger 3700 mAh battery. And this is very vital for the Z Flip form factor, because the Z Flip 3's biggest problem was that it wouldn't last even half a day of usage. I hope Z Flip 4 fixes that, and considering that the power efficiency will be better on the 8 Plus Gen 1, we should definitely expect better. Now coming to the other Samsung phone that I've been meaning to talk about is the Z Fold 4, and this time around, of course, it will come with the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, but there are some changes to the ratios of the screen on the internal and the external side as well. So the internal side will apparently now have a 6:5 ratio increased ratio of 6:5 compared to 5:4 on the Z Fold 3. And the external screen will not be as tall anymore, which is a very good thing. It'll have a ratio of 23:9 compared to 24.5:9, which is something that I really want to see in real world. And according to Ice Universe, one of the most prominent Samsung phone leakers out there, he says that the new Z Fold 4 is bound to be shorter, wider, and of course thinner. Apparently, there's going to be no change in the battery size. It's going to be a 4400 mAh battery, and the fingerprint scanner is going to be embedded in the physical power button itself, and you won't get an optical in-display one, or the ultrasonic one. And one thing that I'm expecting with the Z Fold 4, and there have been leaks corroborating it, considering the Oppo Find N could do it, is a far less visibly evident crease on the internal display. Anyway, one thing's for sure, both the Z Flip 4 and the Z Fold 4 are expected to come with at least 4 years of software update promise, and of course the latest version of Android, whether it's Android 12 or 13 when it launches, and the latest version of One UI as well, maybe One UI 5, but it could be just One UI 4. Now the final phone in my list before I go to the honorable mentions is probably not going to launch in India. Yes, I'm talking about the OSOM V1 or Vault 1. Yes, it's pronounced as awesome. It's spelled as OSOM. Now, this is going to be a privacy-focused phone from the makers of the Essential Phone 1. Now, initially, this phone was supposed to launch with the Snapdragon 888, but then they realized that by the time it launches, it shouldn't have a very old processor. So they, reworked that and just tweeted out after, Snapdragon announced the 8 Plus Gen 1 that the OSOM phone will also come with Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, and therefore the release date has been moved from Q3 to Q4 2022. Two very interesting things I noticed about the OSOM V1 is that it actually will come with a lot of privacy-focused apps pre-installed, like Proton Mail and Brave browser, which is actually very good, and it will come with a secure Type-C cable in the box. What that means is that when you actually connect your phone using that cable to any public port, the public port won't be able to access your data, which is very, very, very reassuring. In fact, OSOM says that they might just sell this cable separately. Even if the phone doesn't come to India, I'm definitely getting that cable for sure. Now, apart from those phones, we also expect to see a Realme GT2 Master Explorer Edition, which Realme has confirmed will come with, the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 and the iQOO 10 Pro, presumably. I don't know if it's going to be called that. And of course, the Vivo X80 Pro Plus, maybe. with Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, that could make a lot of sense as well. But we don't have too much information around these phones, so we will have to wait and watch. So yeah, we are at the end of the video, and like I mentioned, I want to pick out 3 phones that I am most excited for. And those would be the Moto Edge 30 Ultra or the Moto Frontier, the Z Flip 4 and the ASUS ROG Phone 6. Which ones are your favorite? Do let me know in the comment section below. Until next time, this is Ershad signing off. Keep tracking and stay safe.